I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
And it was the same old show. The divisiveness and the disrespect.
Vice President Kamala Harris aimed to use the influence of Oprah Winfrey and other Hollywood stars to win over undecided voters during the online rally on Thursday night. And the event included moving stories from participants about their personal struggles, and Harris also openly talked about her own experiences with gun ownership. While Oprah Winfrey pointed out that something changed for Harris when President Biden decided not to run. She felt that Harris became more confident and fully embraced her role as a Democratic nominee. And in response, Harris replied that everyone has a moment when they need to step up. And she feels a strong sense of purpose and with the upcoming election in November. The event aimed to use Oprah Winfrey's popularity, and especially after she endorsed Harris at the Democratic National Convention last month. And it feels like an episode of Oprah's talk show, with Harris answering questions from Oprah and listening to guests in a live audience, where celebrities like Meryl, Julia, and Chris joined in online too. And before the event started, Harris' campaign announced that nearly 200,000 people had signed up to attend. They also expected many more to join via different social media platforms where the event was streaming. And meanwhile, on Thursday, Vice President Kamala Harris warned that if someone tries to break into her home, she would defend herself and use a gun. And during an interview with Oprah Winfrey in front of a live audience, Democratic presidential candidate Kamala Harris talked about gun laws and made a comment about defending her home with a gun. And she jokingly said, I probably should not have said that, but my staff will deal with that later, and while laughing. Well, Harris, who is protected by the US Secret Service, and made her comments about home defense at the time when there is growing worry about political violence. And this concern has increased after a second assassination attempt was made against her opponent in the upcoming presidential election, Donald Trump. While Trump supports having few limits on guns and ammunition, while Harris wants to ban assault weapons and implement sticker background checks for gun buyers and create some red flags laws to temporarily remove guns from people considered dangerous. While Harris told Winfrey that she supports the Second Amendment of the US Constitution, which protects the right to own guns. She also talked about her gun ownership in 2019 when she was a US Senator, and she mentioned that it again in last week debate with Trump. Well, it seems like a way to connect with more conservative voters and maybe a bold move for the presidential election. Till then, drop your thoughts in the comments below and do follow India.com for more such international affairs.